So, right before this movie started, a father brought in his 2 kids that couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old. I was so confused that I actually had to get up and leave to double check I was in the correct theater. I mean, who brings their 2 young children to see the sequel to The Shining? That being said, they were very well behaved. Didn't hear a peep. Good kids. The plot! Danny Torrance is an adult now, and he's just trying to live a normal life. But a young girl that has a very powerful shine has reached out to him to be friends. Unfortunately, some bad people have noticed this, and they're coming. And shit gets nostalgic. Ewan McGregor. Danny Torrance. He's an adult now, and I love seeing how this character has faced his ghosts from the past. He's had a very hard life, and he battles with alcohol addiction. Wonder where he got that from. I very much like how Ewan played Danny. He's a good, quiet man that has a weird, deep connection with death, and it's exactly how I would have imagined Danny Torrance to grow up. Kayleigh Coran! She plays a young girl who's incredibly powerful with the Shining, and she's not afraid to use it. I love this character. She's kind of reckless, but she's powerful and smart, and she's a good person trying to help people. She's sassy too, and I thought that added to the likability of her character. I also like seeing her learn that there are consequences to her actions, and she faces those consequences. Rebecca Ferguson. She's the villain of our story. She's basically the leader of a group of gypsies that feed off the power of the Shining. She's definitely evil, but she loves her group of people, and it's its own family, and that adds to her character. I found her creepy at times. Her introduction is very creepy, but for the most part, she's cool. She's really cool. She does a lot of cool things. Her interactions with our heroes of the story are great. She's a great villain. Overall, I actually really like this movie. I kind of loved it. Don't compare it to The Shining. That's just silly. Come on. This is like a very well-made fan film side story of The Shining. If you like The Shining, I think you'll like this. It's a 2.5-hour movie, and yes, you feel it, but most of that 2.5 hours is building character. This movie builds up these characters so that when things happen to them, you actually feel something. You feel something for every fucking character. They also build the story to please The Shining fans, and I thought that the payoff was beautiful. There's a lot of flashbacks in this movie, and they didn't use de-aging technology. They actually found good actors that looked like the characters. Any characters from the first film, you know who they are, and the actors did a great job, and I really appreciated it. This isn't a perfect movie. I did have a couple issues, specifically how characters react to specific things sometimes. And I also thought that the reasons for very specific actions taken in this movie weren't justified enough. If you're a fan of The Shining that wants to see a different story that ties into the original, this is a good movie for you. Also, by the way, it's not really scary at all. They use scary elements from the first film as nostalgia for this film. Yeah, go see it. Subscribe.